The closeness of the Israeli-US relationship under the Trump administration emphasized. The US Secretary of State becomes the most senior US diplomat to accompany an Israeli leader to what Jews call the Western Wall, flanking the Haram al-Sharif, one of Islam's holiest sites. Mike Pompeo's State Department signaling what was to come by referring to Israeli control of the Golan Heights rather than Israeli occupation, and more than half a century of US policy reversed by one presidential tweet. After 52 years, it is time for the United States to fully recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, says President Trump, which is of critical strategic and security importance to the state of Israel and regional stability.
We're deeply grateful for the unbelievable and unmatchable support for our security and our right to defend ourselves.
We will redouble our efforts to make sure that we protect all that is important to Israel, all that is important to America, and indeed all that is important to the world.
Some, though, see this as a dangerous US move in a deeply sensitive region. This from a former State Department spokesman, Philip Crowley, who concludes he's not advancing the peace process, he's killing it. President Trump's statement flouts international law, underpinned by a UN charter which specifically states that any territory forcibly occupied cannot be legally annexed. That is a principle argued by the US and the UN with regard to the Russian invasion of Crimea. The contradiction apparently ignored by President Trump, but welcomed by the Israeli Prime Minister, whose standing has just received a major boost ahead of next month's elections in Israel. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.